deep down I know this never works.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're looking at more songs whose suspicious similarities to another renewed interest in the original hit. Number 10, Creep by Radiohead, The Air That I Breathe by the Hollies. Even if it's not immediately recognizable, Radiohead were surely influenced by British rock legends like the Hollies. Well, this was recognized by the publishers of The Air That I Breathe. Legal action forced Radiohead to admit that their breakout hit Creep lifted its chord progression from the Hollies' classic ballad.
When you were before, couldn't look you in the eye.
Pop rock songwriters Albert Hammond and Mike Hazelwood were thus given credits on this morose grunge anthem. Though The Air That I Breathe has always been a radio staple, the copyright incident gave it its second wind with listeners in the 90s. Meanwhile, Radiohead emerged from their humiliating confession to become one of the most original rock bands of the modern era. Number 9, Dark Horse by Katy Perry, Joyful Noise by Flame. It turns out edgy pop icon Katy Perry didn't completely leave Christian music behind after her debut album.
You were gonna come to me, and here you are, but you better choose carefully.
It was within that scene that rapper Flame scored a niche hit with Joyful Noise.
Your boy's been a Christian quite a few years. Victory in faith, but I failed in my fears.
5 years later, he sued Perry with claims that her platinum single Dark Horse plagiarized his melody. The witchcraft themes and sexual undertones further insulted Flame's Christian artistry. With this scandal, Joyful Noise wound up being a dark horse among mainstream listeners.
Man, I'm trying to lift them higher than the stars. I am not of this world like I'm from the planet Mars.
The jury ruled that Perry's song was a copy in 2019, but the verdict was overturned by 2 appeal cases. Still, Dark Horse is forever cursed to remind both Christian music fans and pop audiences of Joyful Noise. Number 8, My Sweet Lord by George Harrison, He's So Fine by the Chiffons. There was a time when everyone was humming along to the Chiffons chart topper, He's So Fine.
He's so fine. Wish you were mine.
It was evidently still stuck in George Harrison's head 7 years later. He claimed that My Sweet Lord, an also infectious tribute to Krishna and greater religious reconciliation, was inspired by the gospel hymn, Oh Happy Day.
My sweet Lord, my Lord.
But a copyright suit found that the Chiffons had enough unconscious influence to be entitled to damages. It was a landmark moment in music law that elevated He's So Fine from a golden oldie favorite to a timeless gem.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna make it mine.
That said, the Chiffons covering My Sweet Lord for more profit kind of validated Harrison's copyright satire, this song. Number 7, Photograph by Ed Sheeran, Amazing by Matt Cardle. The hype for X Factor winner Matt Cardle's debut album had died down by the time Amazing was released as a single.
I had to look inside this fragile heart of mine.
Ed Sheeran's Photograph got a lot more attention, but not just for its success.
You know it can get hard sometimes.
Amazing songwriters Martin Harrington and Tom Leonard accused Sheeran with claims that he extensively plagiarized their somber love ballad.
How did you find me?
One can indeed hear a strong case in the song's tempo and theme, but Cardle distanced himself from the legal drama, expressing his fandom of Sheeran without directly addressing their song's similarities. The case was quietly settled out of court, with the real victory being renewed interest in Amazing. It turns out that Sheeran was the would-be hit's unlikely savior.
I won't ever let you go.
Number 6. Viva La Vida by Coldplay. Various. Life was imitating art when Coldplay ruled the music world with a powerhouse art rock anthem.
I used to rule the world, seas would rise when I gave the word.
Unfortunately, they also faced the harder parts of power described in Viva La Vida. The band Creaky Boards accused Chris Martin of plagiarizing the songs they didn't write after hearing it performed live.
When you have gone to bed and I am alone inside my head.
They ultimately admitted that both songs were likely inspired by The Legend of Zelda. Guitarist Joe Satriani, on the other hand, took legal action with regard to If I Could Fly. Before this case was dismissed, Yusuf/Cat Stevens compared Viva La Vida to Foreigner Suite.
Dreams I had just last night.
Martin brushed off these many supposed coincidences because they kept Coldplay's Grammy-winning opus in the spotlight. Certainly, the controversies lifted the stature of similar songs.
Never alone this world, but that was when I ruled the world.
Number 5. Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD. Shape of My Heart by Sting. The initial commercial disappointment of Shape of My Heart held nothing for its praise from Sting fans. Though it has since been sampled on many tracks, it was the interpolation in Juice WRLD's Lucid Dreams that brought it back to the spotlight.
I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you.
The emo rap track was so melodically similar that Sting was given a substantial percentage of the rights to it. He also expressed in an interview that it was his favorite interpretation of Shape of My Heart.
For those who speak know nothing.
This bolstered both songs' popularity, as did tragedy. Juice WRLD died at age 21, the year after his breakout hit's release. But he leaves behind his own classic to sustain another for generations to come.
You found another one, but I am the better one. I won't let you forget me.
Number 4. Stay With Me by Sam Smith. I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. There must be great power in Tom Petty's reserved multi-platinum hit, I Won't Back Down.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
A similar melody in Sam Smith's Stay With Me sure struck audiences in 2014.
Guess it's true, I'm not good at a one-night stand.
But just before it won the top Grammys, Petty and Jeff Lynne were granted songwriting credits. The legal settlement sparked widespread scrutiny of Smith's track and a resurgence in Petty's. Petty said this was a move by his publishers, as he didn't believe Stay With Me was deliberate plagiarism. Smith, who was just one of 3 writers of the song, claimed to not have been aware of I Won't Back Down before this episode. That defense may no longer stand now that Petty's classic rock staple is here to stay with modern audiences.
But darling, stay with me.
Number 3. Flowers by Miley Cyrus. When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars. As far as typical breakup ballad themes, When I Was Your Man and Flowers represent 2 sides of the same coin.
We were right till we weren't. Built a home and watched it burn.
Miley Cyrus's empowering number came to heartbreak after all in 2024, when she was sued by Tempo Music Investments for copyright infringement. The company owns a portion of Bruno Mars's one-time hit, When I Was Your Man, whose melodic and lyrical hooks are admittedly very Flowers.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now.
Those are just the 2 most prominent parallels that have brought Mars's song back into public discussion. But Mars and his co-songwriters are not part of the legal discussion.
That I should have bought you flowers and held your hand.
Whether the popular resurgence is sufficient compensation for Tempo Music, it's entirely possible that Cyrus leaned on one man for flowers.
Buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand.
Number 2. Born This Way by Lady Gaga. Express Yourself by Madonna. Countless were inspired by Madonna's gold-certified Express Yourself going into the 1990s.
Come on, girls. You believe in love? 'Cause I got something to say about it.
Ironically, she may have inspired Lady Gaga a bit too much when she delivered the definitive anthem of self-expression for the 2010s.
My mama told me when I was young, we're all born superstars.
Aside from the similarly empowering lyrics, Born This Way has many melodic similarities with Express Yourself.
Don't go for second best, baby. Put your love to the test.
Madonna and Lady Gaga have both acknowledged this, but true to their theme, they've extended only mutual support. It doesn't hurt that the massive success of Gaga's single renewed interest in the original Queen of Pop. Born This Way may not completely live up to its message about being a true original, but it will definitely inspire fans to recognize the trailblazers before.
Right track, baby. I was born this way.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Roar by Katy Perry. Brave by Sarah Bareilles. The catchy and empowering Brave was instantly another solid hit for Sarah Bareilles.
You can be amazing. You can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug.
But its ascension from there was largely on the controversy surrounding Katy Perry's Roar. Released just 4 months later, the single was accused of blatantly ripping off Bareilles' melody and message.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath.
This prompted co-producer Dr. Luke to report that Roar was in fact recorded before Brave came out. In any case, Bareilles' song was boosted to mainstream radio and became her signature song.
Honestly, I wanna see you be brave.
In a further show of good faith, she once joined Perry and other pop stars in performing Roar live. Bareilles ultimately believes in promoting positive art no matter what. It was just a bonus when that art suspiciously promoted her own. What are some other songs that put you in a strange mood to hear someone else's? Name those tunes in the comments.
You held